It's the SawCast, where real people speak that real shit on real topics every day. And I go by the name of Stevo.
And I'm Aerial. What the fuck do y'all? Today we got a special guest, Kaysee.
Ooh.
How you doing, Kaysee?
Today, I like to say I'm fired up.
Okay.
I am in a safe place. I feel good. So I'm excited.
Are you young and vibrant?
I'm young and vibrant.
Yes.
All day.
Kaysee is the founder and CEO of Young and Vibrant Tutoring. And we are partnership with her with our new incentive where we are taking 30 kids, and for 2 days out of 14 weeks for 2 days each week, we're going to have them tutored by Kaysee's organization.
Yes.
The reason why we picked Kaysee's organization is because Kaysee's organization aligns with our missions, our values. We definitely care about the education of the Black kids in Indianapolis, and we want to do everything we can to assist with getting the numbers up. Right now, 90% of the kids in IPS did not pass math and language arts last year, 2024, and we want to do whatever we can to help that. And so with our partnership with Kaysee, we will be making sure that at least we can get the data to see if tutoring really will help the kids in IPS. And if it does, we want to implement that across, all of the educational, really just partnership with a lot of educational nonprofits in Indianapolis so we can make this happen, because the numbers are insane and they need to change for sure. You believe that, Kaysee?
Absolutely. Like bringing the awareness that our babies are not reading, bringing the awareness that they are going to be our future. I mean, we can go all the way down the line. If our community doesn't learn how to read, there's not going to be any jobs. There's not going to be any great decision making. So that's the longevity.
For sure.
But as a kid right now, not knowing how to read, that confidence, that maturity, that opportunity to see the world in different light, it gets shut down. And when we become an adult, what happens? You got childhood trauma. Mm-hmm. And so it just goes on and on. So there's a lot that could be done to eradicate those numbers, to decrease those numbers.
And we want to make sure that everybody from Indianapolis understands that if your child drops out of school, they have a prison bed open for them already.
For sure.
So we want to prevent that at all costs from happening to the kids in our community. And that's the reason why we're doing this partnership. And I believe we're going to make some things happen for sure.
Absolutely.
We already have. Like, we've already been talking to people in the community and stuff like that. I know, of course, you have. But, and people are already trying to help us. Like, it's going light speed, which I knew. But I'm really excited. And I just want everybody to really get to see who Kaysee is and what type of person she is, because I think that Kaysee doesn't know, but I had already been like looking for her. Like I already knew who she was, only because we have a mutual friend. But I looked at her mission and her values and everything, and I always wanted to partner with her. I just had to get my ducks in a row with my nonprofit first. She already had hers ready, so I think now is the perfect time for sure. And it's crazy, especially seeing the stuff that's been happening lately and the responses to some of the things that's been happening, been telling us that the literacy rate is not where it needs to be. Right. So we want to make sure that Black people in our community, before we speak, before we communicate, that we know what we're talking about.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And that literacy is going to help that.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
First things first. So do you have like any personal experiences or anything that like what inspired you to found Young and Vibrant? So what inspired you?
Okay, cool. So there's two things. So Young and Vibrant Incorporated, that's the nonprofit. Our first mission is to eradicate child sexual abuse. Why? Because 1 in 4 girls and 1 in 6 boys will be sexually abused before their 18th birthday. My personal experience is with Child Protective Services. Mm-hmm. Having a caseload of 30 kids and parents not believing that this happening, I was like, absolutely not. So that's when I did my homework and research, and what the issue was, it was the preventative care. Mm-hmm. Like, we know this is happening, so how can we prevent it? We have these conversations. So that's how Young and Vibrant Incorporated started. And then I added on the program Young and Vibrant Tutoring. I stepped into a classroom of 20 students as a substitute, and only 5 knew how to write their first and last names.
Wow.
So I called that office. Excuse me, do we have name tags?
For real.
The kids don't know their first and last names, got the name tags. Then I dived deeper and found out oh, this is third grade, but they're reading at a kindergarten level. What's the issue? So then you find out the issue is phonics. Also, it's COVID. So when they were supposed to be learning these phonics skills and learning how to read, they were at home. Parents were sick. Virtual learning was a thing, but not really working. So all those came on top. And then so that was like, I'm a mission-driven entrepreneur. So like, I see a problem. What's the solution? So I told the school, I was like, I'm doing a disservice if I'm teaching them third grade curriculum and they cannot read 3-letter words.
Yep.
What could we do about it? And so they purchased a program, and they allowed me to teach phonics for 20 minutes before the day started. And it worked. There was some progression, and just the boost of a child, like knowing how to, if the word is challenging, I can say the sounds. If the word is challenging, I don't got to shut down and feel embarrassed because now I know everybody's struggling. So let's work on it together. So encouraging them. So that's how it started. I used to do it just with my community. And then more people wanted it, and I kept seeing more problems. So that's when Young and Vibrant Tutoring became a program, and now it's just expanding.
Awesome.
We love to see it. We love to see it.
Okay, so how do you feel like the tutoring aspect of Young and Vibrant will help the educational gap that you see?
That tutoring helps because when a child is in the classroom, especially for the children who have special education, such as a 504 plan or IEP, they have a personalized lesson plan. They have accommodations to help them assist with learning. So that small group, sadly now it's getting bigger, but that group has the one-on-one attention. That group has, hey, I know you're struggling with these type of words or this type of sounds. I'm going to incorporate to make sure you get that. So now with tutoring, what I love my husband say is it's like a private school, because I get to tailor to their personalized learning style. And then in a classroom, teacher are teaching to one learning style. And you have 20 kids. Everybody's learning different. So with tutoring, we built that rapport. I get to know your child, and I figure out what they like to learn about, and we make it happen. You may be in the 6th grade, but you need help with reading comprehension, what you learn in 3rd grade. So I'm going to give you the boost and the confidence of who you are, but then we're also going to backtrack and say, hey, we got to learn these steps. So that's how it is different and it's beneficial. Okay. And I'm fun. I'm super energetic. I'm super vibrant. And I just bring it to life. They don't even know they're having a good time.
That's amazing.
Right. They just learning and having fun.
That's it. And that's what it's about. And school is the opposite. It looks like a prison and it's boring.
Yeah. Yeah, the only time they said it was like recess is what the kids like the most, and that's really sad.
That's it.
Yeah, and that's just because they get to incorporate, I believe, movement with the learning.
Absolutely.
Probably. So, like, with your kids, like, you're a teacher, so you get the one-on-one, and a tutor, so you get the one-on-one time with the kids. Is there anything that you see in the kids that prompt you, like, to go forward with your mission? Like, anything specific that you saw that they needed as a teacher?
Yes,
or a DCS worker?
One big one was the students who were diagnosed with dyslexia. Dyslexia many years ago used to be a thing where if you got dyslexia, you can't read. That's how they treated you. But I had a special student. When I walked into the school, everybody was warning me, she's a bad kid. She gonna give you a hard time. She gonna turn up and all this. I'm like, I don't care what y'all say about that. A child and I, we have different rapport. And so first day of school, I don't know how to read. I don't like how to read. I can cry right now. By the end of the school year in this summer, she's texting me, Miss Williams, thank you so much for teaching me how to read. I know how to read now. I feel good when I read now. And then I just found out, because I'm not teaching anymore in the school. It's all day, every day, Young and Vibrant Tutoring. Hey. The kids that are in my community go to where I live at, go to the school I teach at, and they had come back. It was like, if she ever say that she can't read, she will stop and say, I would never say that again because I can read. So just giving that confidence and then telling her, like, you don't ever say that in your life because that all just goes into your brain. But that baby girl learning how to read, she used to be embarrassed to stand in front of the classroom. I used to have her coming from the classroom and talk. So just all that plays a part. So I was like, if I can do that for her and for somebody who has dyslexia, come on, babies. I can do it for all y'all.
So you didn't seem like a variety in how you say you can do it for all of them.
Yeah.
Right? So what are some of like the misconceptions that they have about students that have maybe like learning disability, or even just any of the students that you tutor?
Yeah. One thing is lazy. Teachers think kids are lazy. And me personally, I don't think that they are lazy. Is that if you don't equip them with the skills on how to, that means they're not going to do it. They are going to give you a hard time because they don't have the skills. So one big thing is teaching my students, you are going to make a mistake. Like, make that clear as day. And so what do you do when you have a mistake? You cross it out or you erase it. Because when they make a mistake, they're shutting down, then they're having a hard time, then the teacher is unable to pull them back up. So that's one of the big misconceptions that I see, is that that teachers think students are lazy. Mm-hmm. And then secondly, they think school is only about academics bell to bell. If you want kids to learn, you have to have fun. You got to move those desks. You got to allow them to do some other activity. You got to move their body. You got to incorporate songs. You got to allow them to go to the board and do what you expect them to do.
So you got to give them, like, while you teaching them, you got to give them a space to be comfortable. So then in that way they can be comfortable learning.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Because I guess it's like creating that safe space for the kid, you know, in a way. And I hear you say a lot of things that you're saying. It seems like life skills
for sure
that you also teach them as well when you're tutoring.
Absolutely.
So like, is that intentional, or is that just the things that you tutor them on, and when you find their learning style, then that just comes with the development of certain like reading or, you know, writing mm-hmm. or different things of that nature related mm-hmm. to education. So is it like purposefully done, or is it just connected in a way?
Oh, it's very intentional. It's very intentional because I'm raising children to become adults one day. So what I teach them now, I pray and hope that it's a seed that will flourish as they get older. Mm-hmm. So before I start tutoring the child, I do a meet and greet. The meet and greets where we're having a conversation, we're building rapport. I give them an interview. And so for something that's small, one of the questions is, what do you do to help out at home? And if kids are saying they're not doing nothing, we got a problem with that, because you are becoming a young person and you got to take responsibility. And I want you to take responsibility at home, because when you're not at home, what you going to do?
Right.
So, yes, it is very intentional that I teach kids life skills mixed with reading comprehension and, most importantly, confidence.
Awesome.
We love to hear it, man.
Okay, so what type of things, like needs, do you see from the kids that prevent them from doing better in school or doing better in tutoring that we can tell the parents that, you know what I'm saying, that they can provide, that would help them, you know what I'm saying, with their students? Yeah.
Definitely for the parents, you have to create an educational environment. Mm-hmm. The kids should not just go to school and see posters and numbers on just school walls. It needs to be at home. It has to be a safe, creative space where they know that learning takes place. It could be a closet with some books and some teddy bears, but creating that environment at home where, okay, this is where we focus. One of the biggest problems that we have that teachers and stuff complain about and parents is focus. And they want kids to, you need to focus on this test, you need to be quiet. But no one's teaching them how to focus. Mm-hmm. That's a skill. We as adults have to learn how to focus. And then with our phones and technology that easily distract us, mm-hmm. we have to learn that. So definitely parents could assist with practicing focusing. I got some tips for that. And most importantly, creating a learning environment in their home.
Okay. One thing I will say, just to go to that question, like the needs, I definitely read statistically that the reason why a lot of our kids in Indianapolis public schools aren't doing that well is because they're not eating. So we want to make sure that parents, that you're making sure that your kids are eating. I don't know, teacher-wise, how many times they should be eating or whatever. Mm-hmm. They should be eating a balanced breakfast, I believe, before they go to school. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, lunch, and then make sure they get some type of dinner. You know what I'm saying? So that when your child is completely prepared to learn. If they're going to school on an empty stomach, that's too hard for them to learn. And then if you don't have the means to get them food, then make sure that they're at school early enough to get the breakfast that they need. So I will say that was one thing. Also, I'll say statistically, I was seeing the difference between our kids in IPS versus the kids in Hamilton Southeastern is that they don't have the parental support. Like, so you need to be communicating. You need to be talking to your kids as teachers. You need to be talking to your kids to see what's going on at school. Absolutely. You need to be involved. I know it's hard. I know y'all got jobs and stuff like that, but you definitely chose to have these kids, so you definitely need to do what you can to give them the resources that they need to succeed. Absolutely. But I know those two things is something that I see you think that too, Kaysee, as far as food and support is concerned. How can parents support the teachers more, in your opinion?
How can parents support the teachers more?
That's a good one.
That's a good one. I'm going to go fly easy, and then I'm going to go to a little more course. Okay. Do not send your child to school with Takis. Do not send your child to school with pop and soda and all those snacks that really have toxins in them, that really impact their behavior, and then expect an educator to care for your child with no technology, with no whoopings, with no reinforcement outside of no recess. And we don't even want to take away recess because we know y'all need to go out there and have some fun. But the food is important. Okay. In my classroom, it was like no red dye. And if a kid came, and if their parents bought them a snack, because I let them have snack in my classroom, bought them a snack that had chips or something that would red dye, and come on, I got a basket full of fruit. Which one you want? You want a banana? You want an apple? Which one? But your snack needs to be fueling your brain, not giving me a hard time because I got to care for 20 kids. Right. And I know what the food does to their brains, and we wondering why sometimes our kids are having moody attitudes, bad behavior. The food plays a big part. So that's what I say. Pack healthy snacks. That's a must. And then on the other side, if the teacher is not giving your child homework or doing anything, parents, you do that. The simplest thing you can do is go to a dollar store, go to Walmart, your child's in the 3rd grade, grab that 3rd grade workbook. While you in the kitchen cooking, you sit down 20 minutes and you work on it because the learning has to be reinforced. And just think about it. When they're on their phone, a kid can be on their phone for 2-4 hours getting all that information. But then when it comes to the work, they can't sit there for 5 minutes. Why? Because it's not a routine. And so that's how a parent could help a teacher by reinforcing and making it clear that this is important because a teacher cannot do it all. And honestly, they're not going to do it. Yeah. Like homework here in Texas is not even a thing. Like that was crazy.
Okay, so you said how the parents can help the teachers. For sure. But then you started in the schools actually with Young and Vibrant. So I was thinking, so how could schools that know they're struggling in certain areas, how could they better partner with tutoring services to help their children out? Like, what would be a ideal scenario?
Ooh, okay, so I envision this all the time. However, let me be very clear. School teaches your child how to be average. Young and Vibrant teaches your child how to be extraordinary. Ooh. So one thing, a school is not going to do too much because the system, the square is set up, take this test, you fail this test, you still would get passed, real basic. And so what they do, a lot of schools, they will have the teacher tutor the kid. But then they want you to tutor a child before you come to work, no pay. And then they want you to tutor the kid after work, no pay, and it's dismissal. So the kid is really not getting any reinforcement of tutoring. So the ideal would be if, hey, stop putting all this pressure on teachers, hire outside sources to come and accommodate and provide that. So the schools, not too kind, I would say. But so the other way is to have those conversations, put those proposals out until after school programs.
Okay.
And so that's the route that I'm going. Okay. For sure.
They're more willing to work with you, I'm assuming.
For sure, because the administrators at school want to put more demand on the teachers. And so bringing somebody from the outsource is like, yeah, we already got the job done, but it's not successful. So Boys and Girls Club, YMCA, other nonprofit organization, y'all already have the kids. Now you're just hiring an outside source to match your vision and to assist with overall youth development of a child.
Makes sense.
Did you have another question, Steve?
I thought you looked at
Okay,
it.
I did. Okay. So how does Young Environment measure the success of the kids and how well they're doing in your program?
Good question. So I provide weekly progress reports. Of course, I have the lesson plan, and we'll go through it. So what I focus on is their strengths and their weaknesses. So measuring those out, having the data, having follow-up meetings, and having assessments.
Okay.
Those are the biggest things that I do. And then just overall, I can, because it's recorded. So then I go back and look at it. That's how I'm able to gauge the confidence, too.
Yeah.
Like, at first, you're reading like a robot. I don't know what this says. And then you go back and watch the video. Oh, I'm reading like I know what, like they have the tone and they have the personality. They have the confidence. At the beginning, maybe, I don't know how to say the word, so I don't know, and then give up. And then towards the end, they're sounding out words. So that's usually how I do it, the assessments, and then just communicating with the parents. Like, this is where I started, and this is where they are right now.
Okay.
So what's I would say a major difficulty in like raising the funds for that, or like finding the funds to for your program, and like how do you deal with that?
Good question. Let me get in my brain.
Well, I guess yours like right now, like you're like parent based, like the parents just pay you right now.
For sure,
right?
yeah.
So
that is one source, and then the other source is partnering with other organizations. So it could either be a sliding scale, as long as the organization accommodates, like, hey, 30 students. So if you can give me 30 students, then the price could be this way.
right.
Because the overall goal is to make a big impact. And then secondly, I also have to bring the resources to make it work.
Yeah.
Yeah, so absolutely. So applying for grants, having donors, and then also selling resources that work. At the beginning, I wasn't focused on the parents. I always say I have patience for kids, not for adults. But now parents are reaching out like, how do you do this? What do we do? So I was like, I'm going to make a product for that.
Okay.
And so then part of the profit from the product goes back into Young Environment Tutoring, and then the product of making profit as well.
Awesome. So Kaysee, you are a businesswoman. You're not just a teacher or a social worker. Like you're running a corporation with a nonprofit's a corporation, y'all.
Absolutely.
Put my MBA hat on, but you're a businesswoman. So what issues do you come across being in leadership in the nonprofit space overall?
Issues personally for me, or like
just
in
leadership, just in the industry. Yeah. For you, I guess, in the industry.
Okay. Let me think about that.
I know.
Yeah. I talk about me personally.
Okay.
The issue of being rejected, and how to deal with that.
Yeah.
Because you will hear tons of no's. And so it's like, am I going to succumb and be like, okay, switch it up? Because you can also get into that. Everybody telling me no, so I must got to switch something up. No, everybody telling you no, you got to work on your craft.
Yes.
And one of the biggest things that I've been working on is how to articulate. Communication is key. Like, that's our best value, our best asset. So if I work on communicating, if I work on how to make a pitch, if I work on how to get to the urgent of what you want and speak to parents and founders of other organizations, then that will go a long route for sure. Then overall, the issue that I may see, like, in the whole entire industry, people don't like to collaborate. And
That's interesting.
Yeah, so I'm just like, that is so weird.
So not us.
Yeah.
Not us, StarBlk. We love the collaboration.
Yeah, right. And same for me. So I feel like I'd rather make the job easier.
I mean,
I don't want to do it all.
She already.
I just really like to talk.
People already have like programs, operations already they're already moving, already successful. So partner with them that's already doing it.
That's it.
Why are you trying to bring it from the ground up? You don't have to.
Because honestly, we're only good at about like a handful of things.
That's what I'm saying.
Why are you trying to do 10?
Yes. That'd be my issue sometimes.
Okay.
Just because she's got so many skills and abilities, that's the reason why.
But yes, you are 100% correct on that. Like, you definitely need to collaborate for sure. And I always knew at first StarBlk was going to be a tutoring program, whatever. We was going to have one of those. But I feel like with our board and everything that we have, like, we don't have the time to tutor. And we're not, like, I've been a tutor before, but I'm not an expert tutor. Like, there's, like, I feel like a teacher would be a more expert of a tutor than than me just, helping a kid. You know what I'm saying? But that's the reason.
Think you could.
Absolutely.
I might do it with our program, you know what I'm saying? But I'm saying, like, there's a woman out here that's obviously doing that to the 10th power. Facts. So let me collaborate with her and then bring my skills, which is IT, to what you bring. Absolutely. And I think that's what we're doing. As far as, like, with Kaysee, she's more so the tutor. She's the boss of that whole thing. If you work with StarBlk, I want you to understand that with our first incentive, the tutoring portion is all Kaysee. She's the boss. That's her stuff. My lane is IT, and I'm funding and make sure that she gets paid. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
So making sure that her processes and the way that she does her tutoring, the way that she distributes things technology wise, the way that she communicates with her people is smooth, so that she can do what she do. But that's the reason why you're supposed to partnership. You know what I'm saying?
And I remember you saying, touching on it about the parents and how they can help the kids, like, but you said, like, with the snacks and stuff like that. I remember that. But how important and essential is it that the parents and also the children's community and environment, how important is that relationship to the tutoring relationship?
That is big. Shout out to my family, who
awesome.
Definitely was
shout out to the fam, man.
A great support from the point where my first tutor was my cousin. He is a counselor, probably about 2 decades at Ben Davis High School.
Wow.
Okay.
And so I used to go to his I used to go to his house, and he used to pull out that Hooked on Phonics purple box. And we used to sit on the middle of the floor and spread them cards out until I learned how to do it. Because growing up, I had a stuttering problem. And
I never knew that.
Facts.
Thank you. So and during that time too, my mom was aware of it. It was kind of like she'll grow out of it. She just needs some help. So shout out to the community my family helped in. And then my family was always like, put Kaysee in this program. I heard they having this free service. Take her to this art program, like telling me all these things. And then when my mom couldn't pick me up, hey, auntie, I just dropped Kaysee off at 5. He can go pick her up at 7. And they would do it. And so that's what got me to this point and realize how important it is to have that support, to have friends. There's too many adults out here be like, I don't got no friends, too hard to be a friend.
That is so crazy to me.
You better get one.
Girl, that is insane.
At least get 2 or 3.
You got to.
I don't understand the not having friends thing.
Yeah, and just for your child also to have different perspectives.
Yes.
So, yeah, the community support is really big. And community with incentives and programs, like, they have to push it out, like, market as much as possible because the kids need it.
Yeah. Yeah, we're finna tear you out with the marketing.
Yes, in your face.
Okay, so how do you address, I'm back to the business because I'm always business. But how do you address the burnout? Because you got a lot of stuff going on. You are always marketing or putting something out there, and then you're tutoring on top of that, and then you're writing a proposal for us and writing up compensation plans, all that stuff. How do you address the burnout?
Right. For you also those who, work within Young and Vibrant to help tutor.
Okay. Really good question. Glory to God, I haven't experienced the burnout because I'm literally doing what I love to do.
Okay. Because it don't feel like work.
It doesn't feel like work.
That's really
like, I'm literally doing exactly what I want to do.
That's
now,
perfect.
with the business hat, there are other things such as marketing and networking and budgeting and all that I have to do. I'm not a big fan of it, but AI will do the job.
Okay, it will.
So I'm educating myself on what's the best AI systems to use to streamline, to execute. And then also, shout out to my husband. He's my safe place. He's my number one supporter. And he would check me if, like, you may be doing too much. Relax a little. Or, hey, you're relaxing too much. You need to be doing something. So that helps with preventing burnout as well. But I'm overall doing exactly what I want to do. I'm talking, a.k.a. my kids always say yapping. I yap for fun. So, yeah.
One thing I was thinking about was, it was so it was related to, give me a second.
Which one was it, Stevo? Get it, Stevo.
There we go.
Okay.
Have your students taught you anything while tutoring them? Like, what have you learned from the students?
Absolutely. They teach me so much. Oh, my goodness. And
obviously, they teach you the slang. You said yapper.
Yeah, yes. They teach me, because anytime they say something, especially my bonus, because I'd be like, what that mean? Say it again. So that for sure. One biggest thing that children is teaching me is how to live, how to be free, how to be vulnerable, how to be curious. Because when you become an adult and life happens, those things can easily get snatched away. And that's why I love working with kids, because they keep that energy. They're always curious. They're always asking a question. They're always full of energy. So I love being around that. As not a biological mom yet, they taught me how to be a nurturer and a mother. I appreciate that. And also how to communicate. Yeah. Very much so, because I can think something in my head that I'm teaching them and thinking, because autopilot for me, but baby looking at me like, what'd you say, Miss Williams? Yeah, so then I can't repeat it the same way that I said it. I have to change it. I have to break it down. So they also taught me how to be more an effective communicator.
Okay. And how do you make sure, like, what do you do? What does Young and Vibrant do to make sure your students are empowered? Because a lot of times your students got to go back to, especially with the students that we're about to be helping, they going back to poverty. You know what I'm saying? They going back to problems and all that. So how can we empower them to make sure that they stay on track despite their circumstances?
Good question. For one, it is a growth mindset. That is what I teach my student, is a growth mindset. We have a fixed mindset. That's all I can. It's horrible. I'm not going to do it. Then we have the growth mindset. Oh, it's possible. Oh, I messed up. I can try it again. Oh, I'm resilient. Oh, I do have good skills. So teaching them the power of their brain, that's what I really did in my 3rd grade class, because that's the year they have their own sense of who they are. So you got a brain. So teaching them the power of their brain. And so, like, no matter where you go, even when you are in a traumatic situation or home is not the best life, you can take a deep breath. Yep. Breathe. Process before you react. So definitely teaching them that, and then just pouring into them. You're beautiful. You're handsome. Anytime they come on my camera, girl, I love your hair. Oh, it's so cute. You got a new T-shirt on. Oh, I like that. And they be blown away.
That's amazing.
So that, and then the last thing I would say, I check on their emotions. Every time we talk to each other, I do a sunshine and a cloud. A sunshine is something that's positive. That what made you smile today? What made you feel good? And then a cloud, something that maybe made you mad, made you frustrated, made you cry. Tell me about that. And your feelings matter. And I give them some suggestion on how to deal with it. Or we celebrate it. We having a good time. So, yeah.
So what's the legacy that you hope to leave with Young and Vibrant? Tap up there. Tap up there. Tap into it.
The legacy. The first thing comes to my mind, I am the oldest great-grandchild of a group of cousins. Okay. So I always wanted to be a role model. I feel like I had great role models in my life. So I was like...
The oldest
of the great-grandchild.
Okay.
Great-grandchildren. Okay.
Yeah, great-grandchildren.
You were kind of like, already a leader for sure.
So, right.
In a way.
Yeah.
So you have to.
Yeah, so, like, I'm the first out of the great-grandchildren. Yeah. I'm the first one to graduate high school, the first one to go to college, the first one to get married. Like, just those milestones. Wow. I wanted to make sure that, I was being the best for them. And then overall turned out to be the best for myself. So one thing, I want somebody, if I'm no longer here, they can at least say, Miss Williams was my mentor. Miss Williams planted the seed in me. Miss Williams told me that. Like, I want that to live on so that somebody was in their corner, at least rooting them on. Because we meet adults all the time. Nobody ever told me that. Nobody ever told me that. And that's why Young and Vibrant incorporated our mission to eradicate child sexual abuse. Because I met a lot of adults will just come to me and pour their story and be like, I wish somebody would have told me that when I was 8. So I'm like, I'll be that one that tells a kid at 8 years old that your body belongs to you. No one has the right to look at it, touch it, or take a picture without your permission. I tell you that. Or if you've been sexually abused before, it was never your fault. It was the abuser's fault. Don't ever take blame for that at all. So things like that. So that's my legacy.
That's amazing.
That's awesome.
What do you, for the future, do you believe, like, how important do you believe programs and organizations like StarBlk, like Young and Vibrant, are to our community? How important do you think it's going to be in the future? I'll answer after you.
Okay.
Go ahead.
StarBlk and Young and Vibrant Incorporated is extremely important for your children. Why? Exposure. Mm-hmm. Your child may live in a circumstance of maybe a single parent home. And so coming into organizations where they may see a married couple, they get an idea like, oh, that's cool. Or, oh, I never heard something as small as that. Or you see a group of people who love to read. At home, you probably don't got one book. But then you're seeing us at least twice a week. And you are starting to just open your eyes up to so much. And that's what happened to me. My family didn't have all the glitz and glam things, but my mom put me in situations for me to be exposed to it. Mm-hmm. I don't have lawyers and doctors in my family, but I was in programs where I was interning at hospitals and doctors' offices and things like that. So our programs are essential. Our programs need to be supported. Our programs is what's going to make a difference.
Yeah, I feel like our programs also like bring a sense of community to Absolutely. Us, to the Black community in Indianapolis. That it's like it's always saying, people are always saying that we're divided. People are always saying we're jealous of each other, we're envious. We want to make sure that we have people in your child's life that can get your child to move forward. There's not going to be an issue with getting references. There's not going to be an issue with getting funding. There's not going to be an issue with communication. There's not going to be an issue with writing. It's not going to be an issue with analysis. Whatever your child needs to succeed, we're going to be a community of people, Black people, that came from their neighborhoods that they can talk to that relate to them. We want to make sure that y'all know that we are here to support you guys and your kids. Now, we understand, we did the research. We know that you guys do not have the funding and like stuff like that. Oh, I have to go to work 8 hours a day. Sometimes I got to work 12. We are here. We want to be more adults in your community and in your village that can help you, like, give your child something to put their mind on while you're at work or something like that. I think a big thing about the incentive one is that I want to make sure that the kids are being independent to a certain extent. Mm-hmm. I could tell by the numbers. 90% of our kids, that a lot of the parents don't have the time to give to their kids, because if they did, they'd be like Hamilton Southeastern's numbers. They're not like that. So obviously they don't have the time. But I do know that your kids are going to school, because if they wasn't going to school, we wouldn't have the numbers to know that they're not succeeding. So we know that they can go to school on their own. We know that they can get it on their own. So we need to make sure that the studying is there for them so that they can, we can progress and make sure that we have somebody holding them accountable every week, 2 times a week. They know I got to see Miss Kaysee. I got to see whoever the tutor is that Kaysee sends to them. They have to talk to them. And also, one thing I didn't say about incentive one, we got 2 kids per group for so your kid will be tutored with somebody else. Now this is going to help them be able to communicate. Me and Kaysee are communicating right now. You see that I wasn't always a great communicator. Y'all see I'm kind of fumbling. Stephen wasn't always either. But communicating with each other is what makes us better communicators. Kaysee says she had a stuttering problem. Yeah, I believe it. I cannot. So like
where?
Thank
Stutter
you.
where?
Thank you.
That is going to help your kids as well. I definitely want to also say that we want to make sure that you guys know that we're here for you, regardless of whether or not the the current administration is. Yeah. We could go from a administration that love black people to one that hates black people to one that don't like us. They trying to get rid of the Department of Education, all that. We are not going to let our kids fail just because a government is on one. You know what I'm saying? If they have the Department of Education, they don't, whatever. We're going to make sure that our kids have what they need, regardless of whether or not other people want to change their minds about stuff. Yeah. Because, as you know, those other people, they switch their stances, and they go from here to there on education and programs and assistance and all that. We don't, regardless of all those changes, we want to make sure your kids are good. Absolutely. So, our kids are good.
So the thought that I had on it was there's unity in community. And I feel like our community, the black community that we're striving to increase and make better, I believe we lost our way. I don't know if it was the digital era. I don't know, what it was. Sure. But we kind of lost our way, and I feel like a lot of people talk about it. We all know what the problems are now. Like, it's 2025. All right. Let's jump off of that soapbox like we don't know what's going on and step into reality, because we do. So we all know the problems, but then now it's like there's a responsibility behind being a part of the solution. Yes, it is. And it's not an easy way to hold, but all of the people like us who are holding that way, we understand the benefits that come from it, right? And you really do truly have to have a heart like we all have. And I believe that with us helping our community out, and literally each one teach one, teaching them as well. Mm-hmm. So I feel like that's lacking because everybody wants to hold, but a lot of times people hold because they don't know nothing. Because if you know, you have an abundance, and when you have an abundance, you can flow. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Good. So what?
I always come know what's up.
Yeah, so I just think it's like super important, man, and I'm just super excited about this partnership that we got underway, and I just know it's just going, we're just gonna keep excelling from here.
Absolutely.
And,
So to wrap it up, Kaysee, what advice would you give anybody wanting to start a mission-based nonprofit?
Okay. Yes. One thing is, if you know your purpose, pursue it. I was blessed to find out by the Holy Spirit what my purpose was when I was 12 years old. And it was clear. It was to nurture kids, and teach and nurture kids. I've been doing it since I was 11, 12 as a babysitter in my family. So for one, know your purpose. For two, serve. Be a servant leader. Go out and figure out, if you say you want to step into engineering, if you say you want to step into AI consulting, you say you want to step in being a marketer, serve somebody. Learn, get that free game, get that experience, communicate, hear the lingo, just be in those environments first. So those two things. And then for three, collaborate and keep telling people what you're passionate about. That's one of the best advice that I got. You just keep telling people, and then it's just going to start being in their head, and that's how you make connections. That's how you get more bold and confident. Now, wherever I go, Young and Vibrant got to be in a mix. It's either from the earrings I wear, from the shirt, we're talking about it. Just because that's me, and I want everybody to know all about it.
Amazing. Love that. And this is SawCast. Thank you so much, Kaysee.
Thank you.
This was a great podcast.
Yes. It made me more excited about, the impact that we're from that.
Absolutely.
Yes, like, share, subscribe to our channel. Make sure y'all follow the pages. Follow Kaysee's page, Young and Vibrant.
Yes.
And, we'll see you guys soon.